Can a Sattvic diet, which deeply affects our body, mind, and soul, while containing the profound wisdom of Indian philosophy, change our lives? Why is a Sattvic diet important? Indian philosophy considers the Sattvic diet to be very important. The reason is not simply because it is good for the body. It is because the Sattvic diet plays a decisive role in stabilizing our minds and, furthermore, making a spiritual life possible. If we go a little deeper, it is said that this diet raises our consciousness and helps true spiritual growth. The yogic diet system, discussed in Indian philosophy, especially in Ayurveda, contains the wisdom of ancient sages. The essential purpose of this diet is to ensure that our minds are not hindered, but rather helped in achieving the goals of yoga and meditation. In other words, it is to raise our vibration and expand our consciousness to complete yoga. Ayurveda explains that balancing the mind is a process of shifting from the states of Tamas and Rajas to the state of Sattva. For this transition, mere thought is not enough. One must eat Sattvic foods and engage in Sattvic activities. Although it is not an easy process, considering the numerous benefits that the Sattvic state brings, such as peace of mind, health, vitality, and immunity, it can be said to be a worthwhile effort. The Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Indian scripture, defines Sattvic food very clearly. The contents of Bhagavad Gita 17:8-10 are as follows. Those in the mode of sattva prefer foods that promote life, energy, strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Foods that are juicy, nourishing, and pleasing to the heart. On the other hand, it says that Rajasic foods cause pain and disease, and Tamasic foods are foul-smelling and decomposed, making them harmful to health. Then what specifically are Sattvic foods? They refer to foods grown organically in fertile soil, foods that are pleasing to the eye, and fresh, natural foods harvested in season. Furthermore, it must be food prepared with a lot of love and sincerity. In modern times, this has become even more important. Sattvic food is that which is not contaminated by pesticides, herbicides, chemical fertilizers, hormones, radiation, etc., and whose nutritional value and life force are preserved as they are, without undergoing refining processes or containing chemical additives. Tamasic foods include meat, poultry, eggs, alcohol, drugs, and other addictive substances. Excessively processed, non-fresh, or difficult to digest foods, and even food prepared by someone who is angry or has negative energy, belong to Tamas. Overeating is also regarded as Tamasic. Tamasic food is harmful to both the body and mind, depleting our Prana energy, or life energy, and making our thinking dull and lethargic. It weakens resistance to disease and fills us with negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, and greed. In particular, ancient sages warned that eating meat causes one to take on the animal's karma. In addition, we ingest the stress hormones secreted from the animal's body when it is slaughtered, and it is said that a very low vibration and dark, turbid energy remain in the meat. Rajasic foods are those that are very bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, lack sweetness, and spicy. Excessive consumption of these foods stimulates and activates the physical body, but excites the emotions and makes the mind anxious. Eventually, it destroys the balance of body and mind. The habit of eating hastily can also be seen as Rajasic. Sattvic foods refer to foods that are light, fresh, mind-stabilizing, and easy to digest. Representative examples include fruits, vegetables, seaweed, whole grains, and sprouted seeds.
These Sattvic foods are the purest foods most suitable for a spiritual and healthy life, and they not only provide sufficient nutrition to the body, but also bring stability to the mind. Therefore, it can be said that they bring us true health. Furthermore, Sattvic foods have a purifying effect on the body, and especially the consumption of fruits and vegetables raises the practitioner's vibration, creating an optimal state for meditation. It is said that sattva brings enlightenment and health, and that sattva becomes prominent when the light of wisdom grows. It is said that if one meets death in a state of sattva, one reaches the pure realm where the sages dwell. On the other hand, rajas induces greed and activity, and tamas induces ignorance and laziness. The Bhagavad Gita connects the sattvic quality with enlightenment, health, the light of wisdom, purity, and higher worlds. Ultimately, the purpose of yoga is to transcend these three gunas and become one with the divine. But before that, we must move beyond the states of tamas and rajas to first reach the state of sattva.